Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ink Thoughts podcast. How have everyone been? I hope everyone has been doing great. And recently I've started working. I work for 2 weeks now, so everything is still good. And I probably talk about it more in an episode soon. So today, I'm going to talk about something that has been bothering me lately. So, how do we ensure that we are on the way of becoming a better version of ourselves? We all desire success, right? Don't we? We all prefer being someone that could be labeled as good, successful, etc. All sort of, good and nice, um, positive adjectives that we could use to describe a person. And I'm nowhere different from anyone else. Since young, I've been desiring success a lot. I felt like I put a lot of attention on that. Although now that when I try to recall, I actually don't really know what was my definition of success back then. Although I wanted it so badly. It's funny, right? Yeah. I remember I was always attracted to those books that related to successful people, or those kind of habits that successful people have, or things that successful people do. That kind of book when I was young, and how they think about things. This kind of books. And I looked up to my cousin, who I thought was very successful during that age, very very much. She was attractive, very smart, has good academic results, hold different leadership posts, was an athlete in school, etc. The so-called, next door child, that kind of person. Yeah. I remember I wanted to be like her a lot that time. Yeah. She was 4 years older than me, so yeah. Mm, and of course, apart from my cousin, I kind of envy some of my peers who are like this too. I remembered questioning myself a lot back then on they can do it. Why can't I? Yeah. Then I trying to think about, what's the difference between me and them. But now when I try to recall, I can't really remember what was my thoughts last time. Yeah. But slowly, growing up, I'm not quite sure, but I felt like I kind of slacked off a bit. Yeah, I probably might have become a bit lazier, especially when today there's so much of distractions around us, like our phones, social medias. Okay, these are all excuses to be fair. Yeah, and so I felt like I did not put that much of attention onto becoming a better version of myself, so that much compared to the past. Although I don't mean I don't put in effort at all, just that it's no longer that much compared to when I was younger. Yeah. Recently, I've noticed that whenever I'm doing something, though I sometimes do try to do things as good as I could, but sometimes I don't. I just do it without wanting to, without that thoughts of wanting to achieve better. Of course, usually these are unrelated to like those like super important thing like my study or career. Those things I put in all my effort that I could, yeah. But I dislike the point that the more I'm in this kind of mindset, the more I'm downgrading my own standard and expectations on myself. And I slowly lose the motivation to work harder or just trying to become a better version of myself in different life aspects. Yeah, the thing is, the different life aspects. Yeah, that's important to me. It could be different for you. Yeah, becoming a better version of ourselves isn't easy at all. Yeah, it requires you to step out of your comfort zone, pushing yourself through your limits. And people don't feel comfortable doing during this process. Although it is challenging, but it doesn't mean it is not doable. Don't let your fear beat you at your first step. Yeah. So here comes the first most important point I'll say. What's your purpose? Yeah. If you're doing it for a purpose, you will have greater motivation to do it, and the outcome and achievement will have greater meaning to you too. And at the end of the day, you will appreciate this whole thing a lot more. But sometimes our purpose might not be for ourselves. If you really want to do something and it's just purely becoming a better version of yourself, it is important that you do it for yourself, not for anyone else. Because we all have, we all have different different values and standards, and it's not easy to live up to someone else's expectations or standards. And it is most probably, it is likely that their values and standards are not aligned with yours as well. So it is your life, and so do it for yourself. Don't do it just for anyone else. And if you do it for yourself, the sense of achievement and the process of doing it will lead you to greater happiness and life too at the end of the day. Next, if you have an idea of how to make things work for you, try creating a system that could help you in managing the things that you want to do. Why is this important then? Because most of the time, we human couldn't really work well without a structure, because there's just too much of uncertainties that we need to face and a lot of stuff that we need to process. So without a system, you don't really know what to expect. That's why it kind of pushed you off from doing it, because it's not easy. That if you do have a system in place, it helps in eliminating the barriers in carrying out what you're supposed to do. And at the same time, you might need to know what are the goals that you're trying to achieve, so that it helps you in having a better idea of what you need to do in order to achieve them. Try using SMART goals technique if you have problems setting goals. It is helpful. Then be self-aware and not accepting all sorts of excuses that you made to yourself in not doing what you're supposed to. It is normal that sometimes we might have to face certain problems that we missed out what we have to do at the first place. But be real and stay true to yourself. Reflect on that and try to work on what you're supposed to next, instead of avoiding it just because you missed it. Well, for my own case, after taking time to reflect on it, I do notice that sometimes I'll be held by the fear of probably uncertainties, and because of that, I tried avoiding several times, and now I slowly did not expect that much of myself, which is something I don't feel good with. Of course, today I'm not saying that, you have to be perfect, you have to be on top of everything else. But at least for things that are important in your life, in different aspects of your life, don't just, if you do prefer living a mediocre life, that's your choice, and there's no right or wrong in this. Just that me, myself, I don't prefer that. I know I wanted something better, and so my action should be that as well, so that so that they are both aligned for me, for my life. And because of this, I felt like I don't hold myself accountable enough, that sometimes I let myself make excuses, and hence I don't execute the plan or thoughts that I had. This is bad, real bad, because action is the key. Without action, nothing will be achieved at all. So after reflecting on it, I guess that's probably the solution that I have to come up with to work on it, and so that everything is aligned. My values are aligned with what I'm doing. Wait, I should say it another way, like what I'm doing is aligned with my values. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's try to become a better version of ourselves together. It might be challenging, but let's do it together. But of course, if you're satisfied with your life today and you think you're already at the best version of yourself, that's fine. This is for people who are like me, who think and want to become a better version of ourselves. So comment down below if you have any other tips in becoming a better you. So I guess that's it for the episode. For today's episode. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.